Hi guys, and welcome back. This is the third time of making this video, so I hope it turns out okay this time. The first time I started to make this video, it kind of got lost off my husband's phone that I was using, and the second time it kind of disappeared off my son's phone. So this is the third time I'm making this video, so I hope, fingers crossed, that it's okay. So about 3 weeks ago, we managed to go to London, to the British Library, to the Harry Potter exhibition, A History of Magic. As you can see with this leaflet here, these were the ones that got given out when you went into the exhibition. It was to mark the 20th anniversary of the first Harry Potter book coming out, The Philosopher's Stone. And as you can see, it's just a rough kind of overview of the whole exhibition, with some nice little photos of some of the exhibits and that there, and some of the sections of the exhibition. So as you can see from the beginning of the leaflet, we have a room tour of the exhibition with all the different rooms, starting with the journey, and then basically it was divided up into about 9 different sections, and it was all the subjects that are taught at Hogwarts. So basically there was a room devoted to potions, another one you went through to alchemy, herbology, charms, etc. to the end where it was past, present and future, to some of the ongoing projects that J.K. Rowling is on at the moment. There was a little mock-up of the theatre, of the stage, of The Cursed Child that is currently in London, the production of that, and all the different Harry Potter books that have been published all around the world in all the different languages, the different book covers. So it was really, really interesting. So that's the leaflet. So for Christmas, I thought I would treat myself to the hardback book that accompanies the exhibition, which is the Harry Potter. It's exactly the same as the leaflet. The cover, which is this beautiful painting of Fawkes by the artist Jim Kay, who illustrated a lot of the concept art for Harry Potter before the films were made, and his kind of idea of what the creatures and characters look like. So it's a massive book, and inside the front cover we have this beautiful depiction of Hogwarts there, and this windswept, stormy kind of weather. So we have this beautiful detail of these little arch windows with the stained glass in them. It is so detailed, up to the little spires on the roof, and then we have another little spire with this little tree growing round it there, with this little hog coming out of the parapet there, with all these windswept trees round the bottom of the castle, and all these birds flying off there, with this kind of quite moody, atmospheric dark background to it, which I absolutely love that picture. It's probably one of my favourites of the book. So we get into the book, and as the exhibition, it is divided into all the different sections, as was in the exhibition. And another of the inside covers, we have this beautiful picture that was a sketch from Jim Kay again, and it was on A1 like sheets of paper, A1 or A3, I can't remember, that were all like put together, that covered the whole of the one wall. And basically it was the whole of the street of Diagon Alley, with all the different shop fronts, and each one, as you can see here, is just like totally different. They have their own unique little characters with the little leaded windows. You've got the different little characters on the chimneys there with the little animal heads at the top there, which is absolutely beautiful. We've got trees growing out of the stonework there. We've got a little broomstick hanging outside of the door. Even down to the pavement, you can see little creatures going across. There's like a little rat there. And it's absolutely stunning, the pictures in this. We have a little like coat of arms with a frog there on that one. And it's just absolutely breathtaking, the amount of detail that has gone into this. We have this like clockmakers here with all these different little clocks in there. We have these little strange umbrellas outside this one with a little beehive there with little bees coming out of it. We've got these little gorgeous little frogs down the bottom on the pavement there, little toads sitting there. And we have this like strange little pot with these little legs coming out of them, scurrying down the steps there. And it is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. Even if I stood here all day, I don't think I would still see every single detail that has gone into these pictures. And basically it's just pencil, it's just sketch, pencil and paper on here. So yeah, that was probably one of my favourites of the exhibition. So we have the contents page and we have an introduction of the curator of the exhibition here. So chapter 1 we have the journey, chapter 2 potions and alchemy, chapter 3 herbology, chapter 4 charms, chapter 5 astronomy, 6 divination, 7 defence against the dark arts, 8 care of magical creatures, and 9 is past, present and future. And there was exhibits from all over the world, from Africa, Ethiopia, China, absolutely everything you can think of. Medieval manuscripts there in Latin. We have lots of herbology books on herbs and their medicinal and healing properties. We have another medieval manuscript there with like this weird centaur at the bottom of this, what looks like a fishing boat, and then this mermaid at the bottom. So we have these lovely, beautiful paintings here by Jim Kay again, which was his concept art for all the characters in Harry Potter before they went to film. So this one is of Albus Dumbledore, and in the paintings they all have symbolic meanings. So the colours they wore is a meaning for something, and their name represents and has another meaning. And it was so interesting to see like the whys and wherefores behind the characters and how they came into being and why they wore what they wore, why their names were, and things like that. So as we can see, he's eating his favourite sweets there, the sherbet lemons, and he has his knitting by the side of him there. So these paintings are absolutely beautiful as well. So the first section is the journey, and we have a little sketch there of what an ink drawing that J.K. Rowling did herself of the Dursleys and how she imagined them to look. We again have this beautiful painting of the Hogwarts Express at platform 9 3/4 that Jim Kay has done, with this beautiful shiny red train. We have like dragon like fins at the side there on it. We have this little gold hog sitting at the front of the train, and we have this beautiful funnel with this dragon's head on the top of the train with this smoke billowing out from it. And in the hubbub of the station and people rushing about, we have Harry pushing his trolley with the Hedwig on it. Looking a little bit lost there. So that was the introduction. There was also in the introduction a beautiful sketch by Jim Kay again of the young Harry Potter, just done in pencil. So basically everything that is in this book was at the exhibition. So it is very, very close to the exhibition. We have the rough sketch that J.K. Rowling did of Hogwarts, and the plan of the, we have the castle here at the bottom with the greenhouses for herbology. We have the lake at the bottom with the giant squid in it. We have the drive with the trees lined either side. We have the Quidditch pitch there with the changing rooms either side. The Forbidden Forest we have there with Hagrid's hut, and the Whomping Willow there. So it's all really, really detailed. We have little notes from J.K. Rowling how she foresaw the plan of Hogwarts and the surrounding area. We have some more beautiful paintings. That one was of Minerva McGonagall. Again, a concept painting by Jim Kay, and a little bit about how he viewed her, where he got the inspiration from. We have some beautiful original writing here by J.K. Rowling of the Tales of Beedle the Bard that she has actually written out herself and illustrated, which are absolutely beautiful. And again there. And then we move on to potions and alchemy. So again, we have the folklore surrounding that. And of course, we have another beautiful painting, this time of Severus Snape, and some of the reasons for his name and symbolic things in the painting and what they mean. So we have some medieval manuscripts and notes there for potion making. We have an original cauldron that was found at the river at Battersea. So that was on loan from the Museum of Witchcraft and Magic in Boscastle, Cornwall. So definitely make a trip there if you can. It's an amazing, amazing museum full of rare artifacts, crammed full of anything to do with witchcraft and magic. I will leave a link down below to that at the end if you're interested in going to that museum. They had a lot of things on loan from that museum. Some of the crystal balls and cauldrons and things like that. Again, we have some rough typing from some of the storybooks from J.K. Rowling, roughly printed out, and as you can see, they've been ticked where she's happy with it. There's been some crossings out where she's thought about putting another word in place, or some ideas for future passages, and maybe arrows that she would like something somewhere else in the book. So it's so interesting. We've got a part on like in Egyptian things. We had one of the original Ripley scrolls, which was absolutely fascinating in the exhibition, which shows how you can actually make a philosopher's stone. So this was in alchemy, which was the forerunner of now, as we know, chemistry. And they were still experimenting at that time. So that was supposedly how you made a philosopher's stone, which is the stone that gives you eternal life. And one of the really interesting things in the exhibition was the tombstone of Nicholas Flamel, which was actually in Harry Potter the founder of and the keeper of the only philosopher's stone. And he was a real life person. This tombstone was found in France of a real life person called Nicholas Flamel. So that's where J.K. Rowling thought of the idea for that. It actually was found in Paris, and it's 15th century. So that was amazing to see in the flesh. And we have another little rough sketch of J.K. Rowling's of Harry and Hermione and his friends there as she saw them. And we have another original oil painting there of alchemy there. Some more original writings of J.K. Rowling, some of the passages from her books with her own handwriting there, as you can see, and how she wrote it. I think one of the magical things for me about this exhibition was the fact that you could actually see firsthand how she actually wrote the books, and the mechanics of actually writing the book, and how she went about writing it with crossings out and arrows, and you know, where she couldn't think of the word, she would just put a question mark or something. It was really good. Then we have herbology. So we have a lot of old herbal books, manuscripts on plants, botanical books of these beautiful line drawings and their medicinal and healing uses that were used. We also have another beautiful little sketch from J.K. Rowling of Professor Sprout in her greenhouse. So one of the big influences for the herbology part of Harry Potter came from Culpeper's English Physician and Complete Herbal. This was a book about medicinal and occult properties in all different herbs and different plants. So this was like a Bible to people who wanted to use plants for herbal remedies and healing in the, I think it was kind of the 14th, 15th century, that kind of thing. So we have some more old kind of medieval manuscripts there, some more beautiful line drawings, another page from History of Plants there, some more there. We have the history of the mandrake and its properties and uses as well, an old medieval picture there of what they thought the mandrake looked like. The history of gnomes, it's really interesting. That was a Chinese book on plants. Then we are on to charms. We're on to witches' familiars and their animals. We have a sketch of Jim Kay's again, flying keys. We have some more little artefacts from the Museum of Witchcraft in Boscastle. We had a real-life broomstick that was on loan from the museum that belonged to a Cornish witch who actually used that, which was fascinating. I think that was from about the 16th century. We have another beautiful painting by Jim Kay of Harry in his Quidditch robes. We have astronomy, about the stars, reading in the stars, horoscopes, that kind of thing. There's just so much in this book. We then have divination. So we have the different kinds of reading into the future. So we have crystal balls there. We have another beautiful picture of Professor Trelawney there. We have a form of divination from China with the oracle bone. So basically they would burn the bone to form tiny cracks in it, and according to which way the cracks went, they could actually foresee what was going to happen in the future. We have a divination mirror, a scrying mirror, that was again on loan from the Museum of Witchcraft in Boscastle. We have tarot card reading there, crystal gazing again. We have palmistry there, teacup reading, and then we are on to defence against the dark arts with another beautiful little sketch of J.K. Rowling's of Hagrid, Dumbledore, Minerva McGonagall and the baby Harry. We have a lovely sketch by Jim Kay in pencil of Professor Lupin in his office with a picture of the moon behind him, which is lovely. So as you can see, there's absolutely loads and loads and loads in this book. It's absolutely worth the price of £30 from Bloomsbury. I managed to get it a little bit cheaper from Amazon, so it's really good if you can get that. It's hardback. It's over 300 pages and it's got really rare pictures and copies. One of my favourite was this painting again by Jim Kay of Buckbeak in Hagrid's hut there, with all the baskets, little pots there behind, knickknacks, of him resting on a, looks like a couch or something, with this little ferret here by him. It's absolutely so beautiful, that picture. So we had Care of Magical Creatures and all the interesting and weird and wonderful books of creatures. They had mer people and different types of unicorns, and we have again rare sketches of the Hogwarts crest that J.K. Rowling did, of what she thought the crests, and some little sketches there and a bit of writing how she came about the Hogwarts crest. Another little sketch of Snape there that she did. Another one of the Sorting Hat. So, and then at the back of the book we have the current play on in London of The Cursed Child. We can see the stage there with the actors on it. So it comes to the present of what she's up to at the moment. Again, finished by this beautiful picture of Hogwarts at the back there, again by Jim Kay, and the cover on the back. So I definitely recommend, if you are going to London or make a visit to the British Library. It is on till February next year, 2018. It's not expensive to go. I think the tickets for adults were £12 and children I think are about £6. It's not an excessively large exhibition. It's quite an intimate exhibition. As I said, it consists of about 9 rooms, and it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to go round and read everything. So yeah, it's a really, really good exhibition, so get along. I will put the comments for the exhibition and the Museum of Witchcraft in Boscastle down below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Yeah, any comments about it or about this book, if you want any answers to anything, put them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.